I'm going to touch real quick on communication within poly relationships. Because right now, poly is all the rage. It's like the neon of the 80s. Everywhere. And sometimes it works, and sometimes it's hideously ugly. Just like neon. And I find it funny. There are so many challenges to running a single successful relationship. And yet, some of us are crazy enough to want to multiply that and bring in more relationships. So, and I'm not knocking it. I do this shit. I'm crazy. I know it. But there is one key, from my perspective, to understanding any sort of poly communication, above and beyond any other communication that we're talking about today, because all the other communication that we're going to be talking about today is across the board. And this is true too, but this specifically applies to poly that I hope all of you will keep in mind. And even not poly, it applies to vanilla relationships with horrible in-laws. It applies, there's so many things that this applies to, and that is every relationship that you have is with one person. If I have a relationship with my pet, my relationship with him and the way he treats me is with one person. If we bring in a third, or for example, in the cook holding that we do, I still have a relationship with my pet. I then might also have a relationship with my bull. My pet has a relationship with me, and he may or may not have a relationship with my bull. But if he does, his relationship with my bull doesn't have anything to do with me. It has to be separate. It's not to say that we can't talk about it and, compare notes and so on and so forth, but there cannot be a person that acts as a go-between, because that doesn't exist. The relationship has to be between two people, because only two people can sort things out together. Once you bring in a third person, you're talking not just one more relationship, you're talking 3 relationships. So instead of one relationship, as soon as you bring in a third, you have 3 relationships. You have 2 more relationships to deal with. And that's too much to deal with at one time. Deal with one relationship at a time. So for 2 people, you have 1 relationship. For 3 people, you have 3 relationships. Have 4 people, then you've got 5 relationships. And so on. You've always got more relationships than you've got people, unless it's just one-on-one.